That's as loud as it's going to get. You'll see a different type of brazing. In this case, they use a much bigger flame. It's a much cruder operation.
Tom, are those all pre-tinned also?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tom, that blade's flux before he puts it down?
Pardon?
Does that blade flux before he put it down?
Yeah, they didn't show that part though, but yeah, it's flux. These guys are very good on the sawmill, but yeah, see the size of the flame here?
Yeah. It's fast. Oh.
Fast? Yeah, these are sawmill saws. They're a lot, they're sawmill saws. They're a lot thicker, so they'll handle a lot more flame. These two videos have caused a lot of discussion, to be sometimes controversy about which is right and which is wrong. And
yeah,
he's holding the torch from a different angle in a different direction. Our point is that first, both these guys were brave enough to make videos. And Don Wallinger he's a great guy, but he flubbed and we had to edit a lot. He wanted to do the whole thing over, until his granddaughter saw it, and his granddaughter said, "That's great." Then he thought it was okay. But neither one of these people have any brazing problems. They have no tip loss, and the only time they have a tip breakage is when you hit something unexpectedly hard, a rock in a log or something. So two entirely different techniques, both of which are very successful. Couple things you can see now. His technique is similar. He does more. He works the tip more.
Right.
One of the problems you have, particularly with great big parts in an induction system, they have a hell of a time standing there watching it work. They'll want to work it back and forth. And at one aerospace company, they use huge cutters with twisted carbide on them. The guys will do a beautiful job. They'll lay wire in the notch, flex it, put the carbide on. Then they've got to be playing with it. When they're all done, they take that piece of carbide and they work it back and forth real hard and force all the braze alloy out. And then they try and wick braze alloy back in. And when the braze alloy is flowed about an inch onto the steel, it's good. And that's just a matter of training or lack of training. On the flux,
We like those guys, by the way, because they use more alloy.
yeah, they like to use a lot of alloy, but with the flux, if flux is hard to clean off, if it doesn't clean off well with warm water and a little brushing, then they've used it all up. They haven't used enough flux. If you use enough flux, as Don said, when you're done, it should look like new flux, and it should come off easily with warm water and a brush or your fingernail or something. Flux that has been severely overheated dries to almost like a glass-like condition. It doesn't dissolve in water anymore. It's just harder than hell to chip off. If they get a problem with flux like that, have them reflux and reheat. Just put more flux on and reheat.
The guys watch this. This guy's flame's a lot more aggressive, but his saw blade is so much larger that he's got a lot more surface area to heat up too. But he's doing it about at the same speed.
Yeah.
So that's what he's making up for.
Yeah, these guys are. These are two of the best. The Hartleys, I think it's the guy taking the video is president of the Southern Saw Filers, and his son doing the brazing was the new president. But as once again, both of them were willing to do. The Hartley suggested it, but neither one of them has any. Neither one of them has any braze failure.
Mm-hmm.
We must be on YouTube.
We can say that's because they're using your pre-tin.
And good braze alloy.
Well, you know, these guys, I mean, going back, some of the customers I've called on that made saw blades over the years, they weren't using pre-tin tips. And the dramatic difference between brazing a pre-tin to brazing one where you have to heat the carbide at the same time.
Yeah.
The time is twice, if not 3 times the amount of time. You got to get that carbide hot so that you can join the braze alloy to it. You've already taken that out of the equation. Much more forgiving.